Hey guys again, so it's me, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the documents that you need to take for your visa F1 visa interview. So just stay tuned. This is going to be a very short video. Yeah. So I have a list of documents that I took for my F1 visa interview, and some were needed, some were not needed, some were I just asked for, others were not asked for. So I'm just going to mention every one of them, and then if there's any other thing I've left out, which I don't think I've left out anything, you can just Google and find out extra information. But yes, so first of all, you need a valid passport, which obviously you definitely need a valid passport. Like, if you don't have a valid passport, how are you even going to travel? How are you applying to school outside your country if you don't have a valid passport? That's like the number one thing that is needed. Then you need your visa, your form, your DS-160 form. So that's your visa application. Once you're done with your visa application and you submit it, you'd have your DS-160 form, which that is usually asked for at the entrance. So you need that as well. The third thing you need is your application fee payment receipt. So before you are able to even apply online, you'd have to go to the bank, pay the bank, and they have to give you a receipt of payment. So you need to take that receipt to the interview ground because you'll be asked for it. You also need passport photo. Now, the US embassy usually have specific dimensions of the passport photo that you need to take. So when you go to the photo studio and you're going to take your photo for your visa application, you need to tell them you're using it for a visa interview, and they'll know the dimensions. If they don't know the dimensions, you could just Google what the dimensions are or the requirements are. This is found on the US embassy website, so you can just find that and let them know so that you don't take the wrong size, because once you take the wrong size, you wouldn't be able to apply it in your application, and you wouldn't even be able to use it when you get to the embassy for your interview. The next thing you need is your I-20. So prior to your interview and everything, you must have an I-20. An I-20 just is a document that has information of your funding, where your funds are going to come from, the course you're going to study, the school you're going to study, the school's address, your personal information, your sponsors information. It just is a document that literally certifies that you are eligible to study in the US, or you're eligible to I think the US is I-20. I think UK is I can't remember the name, but for the US you need your I-20. That's a form that is like very important. There's no way you go for the interview and won't be asked for your I-20, because you're going to input some of the information from there into whatever it is that they usually type when they're asking you questions. Then you need your university certificate. This, you may not be asked for it, but some people have been asked for it. The university certificate that certifies that, okay, you have done your bachelor's degree in so course, and this is the class you graduated with. So you need that. You also need your transcripts. Your transcripts, very, very important. Sometimes I was asked for my transcripts, not my certificate. Sometimes they just want to go through your grades and see if you are someone who is like a credible candidate. If you are actually a very good student, they'll just go through your grades, skim through and look at the grades and see, okay, maybe this girl is good to go, this guy is good to go. So you need your transcripts. Very, very, very important. Another thing you need is ties to home. So one thing that prevents people from getting visa is inability to prove that their ties to their country, their home country. It's very important, because as you're going for the interview, everybody is seen as an illegal immigrant. You get it? Everyone is seen like that. So once you're going for the interview, you are there to prove to them that, okay, hey, I'm just coming to school, I'm just coming to work, I'm just coming to visit. I'm not someone who is coming to stay. these are the things that I do at home, these are the ties that I have to my home country, and I'm not going to stay in your country. You just need to prove. These ties could be in the form of statements, a house you own, your work, whatever it is. It could be maybe anything. I mean, your ties to home could not, sometimes your ties to home is not a document, but just something you would tell them. You get your statements that you make. Maybe you live with your family has lived in Ghana their whole life, you have lived in Ghana your whole life. The tie that you have to your home country is your family, because sometimes, I mean, as Africans, I mean, sometimes you can even leave as an individual to another country and go and stay there, leaving your family. People do it all the time. But I mean, the notion is once you have your whole family in a particular country, you've lived there all your life, the possibility of you coming back is high. So that's like a strong tie. But if you have, maybe you have a company, you've registered it, you can take your registration papers, whatever it is that ties you back to your home country, you can take that along. You need to take your financial statement. So financial statement is a statement basically that spells out the financial, transactions of the person who is sponsoring you. It could be, if you're sponsoring yourself, then you need your own financial statement. If you have maybe a sponsor, a company, a sibling, an uncle, an auntie, whoever it is, a church, an organization, so far as somebody is sponsoring you, you need that financial statement, because sometimes you will be asked. I was asked for my financial statement. So if I hadn't taken it, then I know of someone who didn't take his financial statement, and luckily for him, he wasn't asked. But you may not be that lucky, so you need your financial statement. I'll just advise, take everything that you think would assist you or help you in your interview. Don't just watch this video, watch other videos, learn what other people took along, just so that you can be very informed. And if maybe I left something out, you can add that documents to your the documents you require you're required to take for your interview. Also, you need a sponsorship letter. So if you have someone who is sponsoring you, for example, if it's a company that is sponsoring you, you need a letter from that company certifying that yes, we know this student and we have agreed to sponsor this student throughout her study. That is sort of like, just telling the counselor that, okay, yes, this individual is not just going to a foreign country and going to rely on, scraps, or is going to, be in hardship or difficulty. They know that, okay, as you're going, you have something that is backing you, you have your financial support, and you're good to go. You need that letter from them. If it's an individual that's sponsoring you, for example, your uncle or your auntie or your brother or a distant relative, I would advise you also get a letter from that person, just like a letter confirming that yes, this is my niece, or this is my nephew, or this is my daughter, or whoever, and I have so and so amounts of money in my account, and this is how much I'm sponsoring this person with. It's very important. Okay, if you have any test scores, GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, IELTS, whatever it is, if you have those test scores, you can just take it along. I didn't have any of those ones. I wasn't asked, but if I was asked, I would have just said my school didn't require any of those documents, so I didn't write the exam. But if you have it, you can take it along. At times I've heard other people say that they were asked, and they were asked their scores and they had to tell their scores. So if you're someone who has written those exams, just do well to just take it along. In some rare cases, people take along their birth certs. For example, if you're someone who has changed your name, you need an affidavit. If you're someone who has, there are different instances where you take extra documents just to certify that, okay, you are who you say you are. You get it. I don't think I've left any other, Okay, so I think there's this other one you need to take along, your application, your admission letter. Your admission letter, you can take that along. You can take your scholarship letter from your school. If you have any scholarship or sponsorship letter from your school, you can also take that along. So I'm just going to run through and then we're going to be done. So valid passport, you need your DS-160 application fee payment. You also need your service receipts. Your service receipts is something is very important. Your service receipts, you need to take that along. So your service receipts, a valid passport, DS-160, application fee receipts, a passport, 2 passport photos, your I-20, university certificate, transcripts, your CV, ties to home, anything that ties you to your home. You need a financial statement, sponsorship letter from your sponsor or whoever is sponsoring you, and test scores if you have any. So yes, those are the documents that, you know, I'd highly recommend that you take along with you to your F1 visa interview, and I wish you all the best.